Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. I want to talk about this term I like to use called reprint opportunity. And self-explanatory, right? So recently we just had one of the greatest sets to ever be produced by Pokemon, which is 151. And in particular, is that Japanese 151 has, it was a $215 to $220 box. I've seen sales on eBay as high as like 230, 240. And when they did the reprint, it brought those prices down quite a bit, actually. I've seen some people were able to get boxes for in about the $45 range, $50, stuff like that. My cheapest box, I had a handful at $46 plus shipping and tax or whatever it was, like 53 bucks, 52 something, 52 and some change. And so at that price, I mean, that is an amazing price. You got a set right now. The set value on that has gone up about $400 in the last month. It went from $3,190 to like just a little over $3,500 to complete that set, which puts it above Evolving Skies. But at one point, that set was valued somewhere around $6,500, and there was actually master sets sold on eBay over $6,000, $6,350 or something like that. I mean, think about that, a new set where it would cost you over 6,000 to complete that. That's like, you go back to like Legendary Collection where there was a firework reverse holo in every pack. That set right there with so many cards, it's comparable. There's like 158 Master Balls. That set had all those reverse holos. They had holos that are worth a lot of money. That set's worth a little over $11,000 right now. And so, I mean, we're talking about a set that is almost half. It was almost a little over half of what it would cost, for an old vintage set, a Wizards of the Coast old vintage set that is amazing. So 151, Japanese 151. The big hit is the Pikachu. It was sitting up, I think, raw for like $380 or something like that, and PSA 10s were over $4. So now the estimated value on that Pikachu is 185, which is amazing. I mean, I know it dipped to about 160. It kind of did a bounce back up to 230, and then it came back down to 160. I think when more boxes started coming out. So, but now it's kind of stabilized at the 185. I just recently won an auction on eBay for 162.50. It was only me and one other bidder, which is weird because this guy that had it had a lot of feedback. So I got it for 162.50 plus $390 to ship it, and I plan on like keeping it. So I had to pay tax on that one. I can't buy that with the tax exempt. That one was for my son. If it was for me to flip, then I can use my tax exempt account. But anyway, so this is a good time to start buying stuff right after the. I think you got to wait just a little bit. As soon as a reprint hits, you got to give it a little bit of time because people are trying to hold out for the highest prices, and then eventually, their water heater goes out and they do have to sell at the lower cost or whatever. Their tires popped or something, or their tires are bald in the winters coming. They need to sell some stuff. So let's go back to like V-Star Universe, an amazing special set, holiday set. I believe was a December holiday set a few years back. So V-Star Universe, the big hit is the Pikachu out of a God pack. So now we have another gimmick like Master Balls, one in a box or something. We're talking about a God pack, which is so hard to pull out of V-Star Universe. I don't know how many were in a case, but V-Star Universe, the boxes are so easy to weigh. If you're in Japan and you have cases of them, you can pop open a case, weigh all the boxes. And of course, the one that has a God pack in it, maybe there's, 20 in a box or something like that? Maybe there's one or two that weigh significantly more because there's so much hollow foil cards in there. And those God packs might not even get here to the US as much. I've seen some people here open them because, not all the sellers over there open their cases or selling full cases and stuff like that. But to get that Pikachu, it's only in one way, and that's in a God pack. It's not one in every box that you have a chance. No, it's wherever those God packs are is all you can get. So that card was, I think, about 100, as high as 180, might even been close to 200 or a little over 200 at one point. But you can get that card right now for like 60 bucks, 65 bucks. 70 bucks, whatever it is. It's way down right now. That is the reprint opportunity right there, because in English, that card, you pull out a regular pack, it's worth like $3 or something, 250, whatever it is. But in Japanese, it's a $66 card right now, 67, whatever it is. And at one point it was super high. But like I said, that's that opportunity on the singles market. Also on the sealed products, V-Star Universe is now easy to get for like 75 bucks. You know, I like to do the sports card things too. In the sports cards, there is no reprint. You know, you don't get that reprint opportunity. Right now, there's the NBA Hoops premium stock. It was on Walmart. It's a retail exclusive, but it does have autographs. So people are pulling two. Those boxes are $125. Sold out. It didn't sell out right away, but as soon as people started getting them and opening them and realizing how good that stuff was, those boxes are selling for like 300 bucks now. That kind of sucks because you're never going to get a reprint in that. There might be stocks sitting around somewhere that might show up on shelves, and those are going to sell out so fast because people are going to turn those around and sell for 300. You don't get that in the sports market, but in TCG, particularly Pokemon, when a reprint comes, that's your time to buy. Now look at Paldea Evolved, just reprinted. We don't know the gravity, how big it was. What did Pokey say he got like $25,000 worth? I don't know, something like that, something big. So there's a lot out there. I'm pretty sure the restock was significant. People are trying to say it wasn't, and it's probably the people that don't want the prices to go down. So at this point, Magikarp is out almost down to like $100 card. I think the cheapest on TCG Player is like $99 with $4.99 to ship. So we're talking about a card that was like, I got it for like 67 bucks. Literally a month later, it was up over 80, 90. It literally was going nuts. And so now with the reprint here, I'm hoping to go grab another one for maybe like 80 bucks. Hopefully, I want the price to come down a little bit. Grab another one for my son's binder for like 80 bucks. Maybe you can get the Japanese one for like 30. You know, it's so the difference, you know, from Japanese to English, that big difference right there. You know, over time, 10 years from now, you know, that when if Magikarp's $1,000, the Japanese one will be 900. That $30 gap will be a $100 gap. But in the whole scheme of things, it's not going to be so big. The Japanese kind of closes that gap, the percentage of the gap, usually over time. I mean, you won't go back to an old set like, you know, let's go to like XY or something in one of those era. A Japanese card and an English card are going to be kind of similar, closer than they probably were back when they first came out, especially back when they first came out when Japanese wasn't that popular out here. But like I said, so we got the reprint of V-Star Universe. I don't think we're going to get another one. So right now is probably a good time to go grab that $60 Pikachu, go grab some of those boxes for 75 bucks, whatever it is, and just sit on them because we're probably not going to get no more. So that's the opportunity. That window opportunity does close. So reprint opportunity, that term I'm using right now, happened with Japanese 151. And I do think that the rumors, like Pokey said, that we probably will get another restock of Japanese 151 booster boxes next spring. So we're talking about April, May of 2025. Till then, these boxes, you know, like I said, they tanked. They've gone up like $30 in the last month, 2 months. So my stake in them, I got like 31 boxes of it, have gone up over $900 in like a month and a half. Can you put your money in anything, a stock that's going to do that? No, like $900. And I mean, and I'm getting gains every day. So I can make a video a month from now and it might be $1,200. Those boxes might be $110 a box, $120 a box. We don't know yet. I mean, but they aren't going down. They're not going down anytime soon now. So I do hope there's a reprint next year because I would love to, you know, sit on a lot more boxes. If I can get more boxes at like $60 a box, that would be awesome because the last ones I'm picking up are closer to 80, I think 80, 82, 83, but I'm still picking them up. I mean, I'm not going to not pick them up. That's still a steal of a deal, you know. That Master Ball chase is like nothing else. Comparing it to like Legendary Collection, I mean, it's not a far stretch. Legendary Collection is nostalgic Pokemon from Gen 1, Gen 2, I think only. I don't think there's Gen 3 in there. Maybe there is, I don't know. But it's like a nostalgic set. Every card has a reverse holo. Every card in Japanese 151 has a reverse holo. We'll see if those are worth anything later, but it's those Master Balls. Every card has a Master Ball. Legendary Collection, you got one reverse Firework holo in every pack. Japanese 151, you only get one Master Ball hollow in every box. And, you know, looking at it in the not too far future, I'm thinking that every single Master Ball will be worth $50. Every one, $50 or more. Yeah, the cycling robe, the goggles, safety goggles, whatever, all the trainers will be at least $50. At least. Because it's such a hard thing to pull when you only get one out of every box. You know what I mean? I mean, I got 31 boxes. If I decided to be brain dead and go open all of them, I may not hit the Pikachu, the Gengar, the Dragonite, the best stuff. I might get a bunch of like stuff that, you know, but later on, those will probably be worth something. It's going to be fun to open. It's going to be fun to rip later on. It's going to be expensive though. So the reprints is that opportunity for you to get something that, you know, otherwise you couldn't get for cheap. I mean, Paldea Evolved for some reason was sold out on the Pokemon Center website since the get. It almost seems like it. I think it was there for a little while, but it sold out. But who was buying those at 160? People aren't even buying for 160 now. How did they sell out? There's got to be stock sitting somewhere. Pokemon, there's got to be. There's no way that that's sold out. Stellar Crown booster boxes have not sold out on the Pokemon Center website. They're just not selling them on there. You know, it's kind of like they could do whatever they want to make you feel however you want about the stuff. So, like I said, I think supposedly I heard rumor that with this Paldea Evolved reprint that there's some Obsidian Flames have been put out there too. Obsidian gets so much flack for being an easy set to complete, all that stuff, which I totally don't get. I love Obsidian Flames. It's a beautiful set. But it sounds like there's a little stock, but everyone I talked to couldn't get any. So that doesn't make a lot of sense. It's like anyone I talked to didn't get any, couldn't get any, can't get any, don't know where it's at. But you can get it on the Pokemon Center for 161. Nobody's gonna do that. That's almost like why? How does Pokemon Center not have Paldea Evolved? Who the heck was buying Paldea Evolved at 161 a box? I wasn't. I don't know anybody who's done that. Apparently some people did. So this is like I said, that's the opportunity. English 151 has reprinted. Booster bundles have gone down to $40 something. You can get them for $34.99 through MJ Holdings off Walmart. Occasionally you can find them for retail 26 something. Do that right now. Right now is a good time to do that. And English 151, all those cards, the big hits, the big SARs, the Charizard, the Venusaur, all that, those are going to be expensive. The Zapdos, those are going to be expensive 4 or 5 years down the road. You're going to be looking back like this is another Evolving Skies set. You're not getting the Umbreon for that's shot up over 900 and something again. It's back at, I think it's almost $1,000 now, 960 something all of a sudden overnight. So like I said, you gotta during these reprint opportunities, go get the stuff that you didn't get. See if the prices go down cheaper than they were before. I don't think the Magikarp's gonna go any lower than, I'm hoping it gets to 80, but if it tanks and hits back down to 60 something, yeah, go grab a bunch of those, you know. I'm waiting to see if Paldea Evolved booster boxes actually do go back down to $110. Okay. So we'll go back to the Silver Tempest reprint. Silver Tempest was getting up to like 170 or something like that, well over MSRP of 143. It was $30 over MSRP. They do the reprint, and I was able to get boxes for like 105, 110. I think I paid 119 for another box. I was buying these boxes for a good price. Paldea Evolved hasn't done that yet. But as much stock as there is out there, Pokeani saying he bought $25,000 worth or something like that. I mean, there's gotta be a ton of it out there. People are just kind of slowly trickling it back into the market. The cheapest box I seen was $119 recently, even though MSRP is $137. There's an online store that I found that had it for $119 plus shipping. But like I said, this is probably the last opportunity for Paldea Evolved to get it at a good price. It's not going to skyrocket just because the reprint gets absorbed. I mean, look at Lost Origin, all that stuff. They got their initial gains, panics buying, and then they dropped. Like literally, I wanted to move into Japanese 151 so big and so heavy that I sold a lot of stuff. I sold all my Paldea Evolved boxes. I bought a lot of my boxes for like $80, $85 or something like that. No, 80 to 90. And I was able to sell all of them at 130, just I set it for $130. They sold like crazy. I did the same thing with my Obsidian Flames boxes. Set them all at $114.99 when TCG Player said they were worth about a 107. No questions asked. People just bought them from me. Just bought them all. You know, because I feel like there was a reprint coming of Obsidian Flames and Pelde Evolved. So it was like, I'm getting rid of those right now. So I also sold my Scarlet and Violet base set boxes for $99 when I was getting those for $77. Sold all those. People are just, they're buying them. The Sword and Shield thing got everyone in a panic that they were just buying anything. It's crazy. But there's probably not going to be a reprint of Scarlet and Violet. That's done. The prices aren't going crazy, even though, you know, it's a beautiful set, one of the best base sets we've ever gotten. And in the future, it's going to do good because there's good pull rates. There's great cards, illustration, rares, special illustrations, all that stuff. And it's going to do good. But like I said, just put that in your head, that whole reprint opportunity. Go and get that Pikachu from the V-Star Universe box. If they reprinted something like, let's hypothetical, they reprinted massively like they did with XY Evolutions, the Evolving Skies, what if they reprinted that massively and that Umbreon got down to like $400 again? Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is what you do. You go in there and you look for that. You know, all those cards like dropped like 60%. This is where you go and get that. For me, investing in something, in collectibles, it's not, to me, it's not investable until it sees that reprint. Once the reprint's there, if you can like predict the low, okay, so say Pelde Evolved has been sitting at like for it seemed like it's always been a $95 box, never went lower than that, unless you bought it in bulk, and I was able to get a little bit better of a price than that. But it seemed like at the retail, like on eBay, it was always like a $95 box just sitting there. It's pretty steady at that. 95, 98, I think it low was like 93, 99 from one of the bigger sellers like P Football Pete on eBay or Anderson's Authentics. But when you look at it, you know, that was probably the best time to get it, is at that. But it was sitting there for so long at that you could use your money somewhere else. You know what I mean? You don't want to sit there buying something that's going to just sit stagnant. It's always best to try to get it right before it does this. And that's usually about a reprint. So Pelde Evolved fooled me. It tricked me. I had my boxes. I was expecting some reprint to come in the next few months, because I got my Pelde Evolved earlier in the year, and I was like, okay, so when the reprint comes, then it should go up after that. It started going up way before the reprint news even hit, you know. So it was like, oh shoot, shot up to $130 a box. And so that's when I was like, you know what, I'm gonna sell all those. I'm going to move that money into Japanese 151 boxes because I believe in that more. I paid a little taxes, and I went on a weekend vacation with my lady. All that stuff, just from those boxes that I sold. So, you know, and so, like I said, it's hard to predict when that jump is gonna happen. But I mean, if you had a crystal ball, yeah, you'd know exactly when to buy, so that you don't. I mean, here's a situation. Okay, so say I'm buying this at a certain price, object A at a certain price, and object B all of a sudden shot up. I should have been buying object B instead of object A, because that's going to shoot up later down the road. That's what I'm talking about. It's best to put your money where you think you're going to make the most now. Even though you believe in something, if it's not moving, don't go there unless you really have the time and the space to do all that. You know what I mean? Look for the best opportunity, the best buying opportunity, the best growth potential in the now. You know, I mean, look at Twilight Masquerade boxes, or I don't get it. The set is kind of mid to me. I mean, there's like one banger of a card. That Greninja is awesome. The Blood Moon or Saluna looks amazing. Well, it could be better, but it looks cool. The Eevee is awesome. But all those trainer cards, the Carmine, the Kieran, that Lana's Aid, that kind of stuff, those aren't going to be expensive. Look at the Miriam, look at the Ino. I know the hit rates are crazy. Those aren't going to be expensive 5 years from now. I mean, they might be worth something, but the expensive cards in that set are going to be the Greninja still. The Eevee is going to be worth more than those trainer cards. The Blood Moon or Saluna might, you know, just to me, it's a very mid set. Once you get past the top 10, and the top 10 is waifu heavy, the cards drop off quick. It doesn't have a lot of depth. It doesn't have a lot of depth, and I don't understand why the booster boxes are $140. When people forget about it, look at like Pal Evolve cards, the prices are dropping. People are moving on to all the newer stuff. Scarlet Violet cards dropped, so 4 or 5 sets down the road, all those cards are going to drop. People are going to look back and say, why were people paying $140 for a booster box of Twilight Masquerade just because of the Greninja? That's what we're going to be saying. You know, when they do a reprint, you know, it might tank everything but the Greninja, because the Greninja is so strong. It might just tank every card in there. It might tank every type of product, but not the Greninja. I mean, the Greninja over exceeded my expectations. I expected it to drop down to like $80 card and just sit there. I ended up having to get my son the Japanese one, you know, so, because I'm not paying $300 for a card that just came out. So yeah, I mean, I like opportunities. Investing are always a good thing. Reprints are a good thing. A lot of people think it's so bad. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna tank everything. It's gonna, yeah, you could sell before that comes, or you can hold on and wait it out, let the market absorb everything like Japanese 151 has done. Looking at $100 a box now. I've seen boxes sell for $105. That's like $50 more than I paid for some of my boxes. $50 more. So I've gained almost like $1,000 on my 31 boxes that I got in just the last month and a half. That's insane growth. And if they reprint it again, I'm gonna buy a bunch more boxes. I ain't gonna fire sale it. I'm gonna buy a bunch more boxes. The next reprint will not drop it down to 45. Maybe it'll be 60. Because there's no way they're gonna reprint the same amount. It almost seems like the Japanese 151 second reprint was bigger than the first run. That's what it feels like. But I could be wrong. They could double the second print run, and it could just be flooded, and if boxes go down to $45 a box, again, I'm buying a bunch of those boxes because it's just gonna rebound. It's just too good of a set. You literally have to open 158 boxes to even attempt to get every Master Ball. I don't know how many boxes it's going to take for you to get that Pikachu, but I mean, it's 1 in 158 boxes. If you're lucky, you get a Pikachu and Gengar if you open up 158 boxes. You're not going to. You might get 2 Pikachus out of 158 boxes and 3 Gengars and no safety goggles, no cycling road, but you could get a bunch of the junk ones. I say junk ones, the lower end ones, or you can get the big hitters. I mean, you never know. But like I said, I do like that Pikachu from V-Star Universe is $66 right now. I'm gonna go ahead and pick one of those up, even though the one from English is worth like $2 or $3. That one right there from a God Pack. I wish I was able to open that God Pack and pull the card out. I'm not gonna be able to experience that part, but I will get the card, put it in a top loader, hand it to my son, and he's gonna put it in his binder. Perfect. I also like that. A lot of times, like the promos from English, like the Snorlax from 151, it's not worth a lot. It's like $8 card, $6 card, whatever. But in Japanese, it's a pull from the Japanese 151. And it's not worth a whole lot, but it's worth a little more than the English, because the English is a promo. I kind of like that. You can go ahead and grab a card. So like the from the UPC, that little pink Mew, that Mew, what's that worth? $8? $8? My son sent his in to PSA. It came back as a 10, so it's worth like $60, $70. The Japanese one raw is worth like 60, 70, maybe 80. I'm not sure. Somewhere up in that range. I think it's no less than 60, but I think it's closer to 70 or 80. And it was because you have to pull it out of one of those boxes, and it's so hard to pull compared to just going and grabbing a UPC or so that's why that one's worth. So I kind of like the fact that you can go get something that's more of a banger of a card because it's hard to pull. So I would probably grab that Japanese Mew just to accompany that, or the English one that we got. We got a raw English one, the PSA 10 English one, and then it'd be cool to have the Japanese version too, just because it's a little more special having to pull that card. So I kind of like that, that you get those in some of the Japanese sets, and vice versa. I'm pretty sure that there might be some promos in Japanese that are pulls in English. Actually, there is in the newest in Stellar Crown, the Bulbasaur and the Squirtle, because the Charmander was in the Obsidian Flames ETB. That's right. So Japanese people over there, they might be thinking, oh shoot, I probably want to grab those cards to go with my Japanese ones, you know. And but those are like textured cards, so they probably look very similar. But the Japanese cards, like that Japanese, that Mew, I would love to see it compared to the English one. But you know, this is my Saturday discussion. Just kind of want to talk about that the reprint stuff, because it seems like there's a bunch of people talking about it. There's some people panicking. It seems like, I don't know, it's a bunch of people just you know, going about the reprint in many different ways. And my way is opportunity. Reprint opportunity. I love the reprint opportunity. That's how I see it. That's when I see that. There's like that light at the end of the tunnel of when do you start investing in a set? After it's reprinted in English, the English sets. I'm not as knowing of the Japanese set, but I'm pretty dang sure that V-Star Universe has already printed a couple times, and they're not going to do another reprint of V-Star Universe. So that's a set that you can get into right now. Is probably a good time to get into that and get them as cheap as you can. Get some of those expensive singles from there as cheap as you can. That Pikachu, anything from that God pack should be in the future worth a lot, because it's hard to pull. It's a God pack. People are always going to remember it came from a God pack, and it's not something that you just pull every day. You can buy cases and probably never touch a God pack. So this is the opportunity right now to get those cards for cheap. And same with the Master Balls. I just picked up the Gyarados Master Ball for my son, 35 bucks. And I told you about the Pikachu I got for 160 something, even though I was willing to pay up to like 185, 190 for it. Got it for 160 after total 166.40 or something like that. So that was my opportunity to grab the best card from the Japanese 151 set. That card used to be like 300 and something bucks. Got it for 160, almost 50% off. So that's going straight in the top loader, straight in the top loader binder. Maybe it will send it to PSA, who knows? But that was my reprint opportunity. Grab that card. Grab all those Master Balls, because at one point, about a month and a half ago, I went and looked when the set was only worth 3,160, 70, 80, 90 bucks like that. There was only 101 cards in the Japanese 151 set that were worth over 10 bucks. I look a week later, there's 109. A week later, 116. It's up to about 150. It could be 149, but it's about I think it's 148 or 149 now. So we're talking about 48 more cards in like the matter of a month have gone up over $10 in the Japanese 151. So I'm working from my way down from the top to the bottom. Pikachu, grab the Gyarados, need the Gengar, need the Dragonite, and then Mewtwo, and then after that, you know, just kind of work down, get the big bangers. Make sure to get the Bulbasaur, the Charmander, all that stuff, all the legendary birds, the evolutions. Get all those in Master Ball now before they're like way too expensive, because this is your opportunity to get that stuff. You might have another opportunity if they do another reprint in 2025, and that's just, I don't know how you can take that as it's going to happen. I don't know. You can't. We don't know. But if someone in Japan says they're hearing rumblings of a reprint in spring of 2025, I hope so. I would love to get these boxes and these cards for cheaper yet again one more time, because from now they'll just climb until then. That Pikachu's probably going to hit $300 again, and then a reprint will drop it back down, but it probably won't do down to 160. It'll probably be down to like 220 or something like that. That's kind of what the reprints do. And then if they do a fourth reprint, it'll probably do that, but on a smaller scale again. So your opportunity continues to shrink with certain things, and on certain products. So go out, get some of your Japanese 151, your V-Star Universe, your Paldea Evolved, your English 151. Go get them booster bundles. Don't worry, because it says GT Collectibles for $34.99 off of Walmart. That's coming straight from MJ Holdings. I've ordered a bunch. They come perfect. They look beautiful, sealed and all that, shipped perfectly. So this is that opportunity. Maybe your last for Paldea Evolved. Maybe your last for Japanese 151. Maybe, I'm pretty sure it's your last for V-Star Universe. I'm almost 100% sure this is your last time you're getting V-Star Universe boxes for $65, $75, and the last time you're getting that Pikachu from the God Pack for 66 bucks. Cost of one box. So it's the end of my rant. It's the end of my discussion, end of my video. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out.